Noble awareness. Verse 243, Eat vegetables and do not kill. Part 2. 1. In a battlefield, when you are running and manage to save your life, and the enemy no longer chases you, do you feel fear or not? 2. When we are captured and dragged like a cow or a goat, knowing that we will be killed, do we feel worried or not? 3. When we see our friends being killed, do we feel brave or scared? 4. When we see our own family about to be killed and cannot help them, what does our heart feel? 5. When we are in the process of being killed, and only a part of our body is to be cut, and we scream in pain, what does our heart feel? 6. When we are about to be killed, and one of the enemies asks for us to be freed, do we feel happy or not? 7. When we are about to be killed, and another enemy says, "Don't release them," what do we feel? 8. When we meet the enemy, one says, "Release everyone," and another says, "Don't release anyone, they must all be killed," does our heart feel hatred or not? 9. During a war, if someone is sick and unable to walk and should be freed, but another enemy says, "This person is useless, it's better to kill them," what do we feel then? 10. In a group, if half of them are children who should be freed, but one enemy says, "These children will die anyway, it's better to cook their tender and delicious meat," what does our heart feel at that moment? If humans are aware of their hearts, they will not want to kill and will strive to free themselves from murder. Imagine if you were freed from being killed. If possible, in a day, for 12 hours, or even just for 1 hour out of 60 minutes, if you only thought of saving lives, then other creatures could be saved. Do not delay in practicing this. Do not ask others to spare lives. Do not set a specific day or time to free lives, for by that time, others may have already killed other creatures. On the path of divinity, all goodness and peace reside within our hearts and bodies. Do not think that killing a little doesn't matter. Do not think that sparing a little life is of no use. Do not allow excuses to stand in your way. We must know that only larger creatures are supposed to be helped, but smaller creatures are killed in great numbers. Now, as we practice the path of divinity, we can eat vegetables. As a starting point, we must stop killing. If friends ask, "What is the benefit of eating vegetables and not killing creatures?" explain to them that humans should say, "A good heart is enough." Why eat vegetables? Ask yourself, is it better to take the life of a creature and eat its flesh? A person who willingly does this, where is their good heart? A good heart, as described, is one of compassion between humans. Yet no human can resist killing a creature while waiting for it to be served and eaten. God has provided enough plants for humans to eat in this world, more than enough. Why still eat things that are bloodied and breathe? If humans can realize this, let them eat vegetables and plants instead of blooded creatures. Do you know that the difference is like 1,000 miles apart? The world today is gradually becoming aware of the benefits of eating vegetables, and there is increasing evidence of both the advantages and disadvantages of eating vegetables and meat. Those who eat vegetables are people who care for their own lives, and eating vegetables is now the most popular choice in Europe. Health benefits of eating vegetables, even though it's not easy to practice. Consuming vegetables has significant health benefits, even though it may not be easy to adopt this practice. It is beneficial for humans, even to the point of extending their lives. The discussion of whether eating meat is healthy or not is not up for debate. According to health theories, meat is not necessarily harmful, but vegetables are definitely better for our health. Eating meat is considered harmful to health, according to scientific theory and various other viewpoints. 2 types of toxins found in meat are explained here. Toxins in meat. Chemists in France discovered that animal meat contains a toxin. When an animal is sick, the toxin spreads throughout its body. One American philosopher also found that when a person's emotions undergo extreme changes, a toxic chemical is released throughout their body as a reaction. The color of sweat when angry or sad is different, and the breath released also changes accordingly. When a person exhales through a tube in a calm state, there is no residue. However, when angry, there is some residue. When a person is sad, the residue in the tube turns gray. During anger or hatred, the residue turns light green. Tests were conducted where this green residue, when injected into an animal, caused the animal to become angry, and when the gray residue, from sadness, was injected, the animal quickly died. Similarly, when a child sucks on its mother's breast during her anger, the milk can cause the child to become sick. This demonstrates that eating meat every day may not be a good idea. Bacteria in meat. Research conducted by doctors today, using microscopes, has revealed that animal meat is full of harmful bacteria. These bacteria are toxic and can cause illness in humans, sometimes leading to death. For instance, beef contains bacteria that can cause lung cancer. Various diseases related to which are often attributed to alcohol consumption, are actually linked to the habit of eating meat. Eating meat also increases ammonia in the urine, which disrupts the balance of blood circulation and causes imbalances in the brain. This contributes to conditions like epilepsy. Additionally, eating meat weakens the body's immune system, making it harder to fight cancer. The point here is not to praise doctors but to show that meat is actually harmful to health. Canned meat, especially in hot weather, becomes even more toxic. Benefits of eating vegetables. The purpose of eating and drinking is health, so we must choose foods rich in vitamins to boost our energy. Plants on Earth, powered by sunlight, contain this energy. Among plants, fruits absorb the most sunlight. If we analyze meat, we find it does not contain these vitamins. Instead, meat has proteins, sugars, salts, and other substances. Rice, wheat, and legumes also contain vitamins found in meat, and they are easier to digest compared to meat. Legumes contain about 40% protein, while meat contains only about 20%. The protein in meat is much harder to digest compared to fruits and vegetables, which have a significant advantage. When choosing food, we should opt for what is pure and sustainable. Why eat vegetables instead of meat? All plants on Earth are the cleanest and best food choices. Why eat things that bleed? When comparing people who eat vegetables with those who eat meat, we find that vegetable eaters live longer, while meat eaters age more quickly. Vegetable eaters show less interest in women, while meat eaters tend to focus more on women. People who eat vegetables have sharper minds, are calmer, and learn faster, while meat eaters have slower and more disturbed thoughts. People who eat vegetables have clean blood and more patience, while meat eaters have dirtier blood, less patience, and are more prone to illness. International sports records show that athletes from countries with high vegetable consumption tend to excel. In the Russo-Japanese War, Russia lost because they could not withstand the long fight, whereas Japan, with its diet of vegetables, thrived. Some say the war was a battle between vegetable-eating and meat-eating nations. To succeed in any field, a healthy body is necessary. To maintain a healthy body, try quitting the habit of eating meat and switch to eating vegetables. Stop killing and eat vegetables, not a religious teaching, but a principle of humanity. Stopping killing and eating vegetables is not a teaching from any particular religion, it is a principle of humanity. Humans eat meat because there is no law or punishment against it. However, we should be aware of what would happen to a country if there were no laws. Similarly, we must realize that in our hearts, we should refrain from killing and instead eat vegetables, because this is not governed by law. If, at this moment, humans still do not recognize the need to do good, imagine the consequences, or do not blame anyone if our bodies change shape and no longer resemble human beings. At that point, anyone who wants to be human will only realize it when they are born as one. But, were they aware that before becoming human, they were not in a human form? Thus, all the living beings we kill could have once been part of the same group as us. Human knowledge is like a garden that is planted with crops. The outcome, whether good or bad, depends on the seeds that are sown. When there is an intention to kill, it is like planting seeds in a garden, where the seeds go through a process of growth. In this world, everything that happens has a cause. Life, death, wealth, poverty, and all occurrences continue until they reach a place or state of peace or destruction, all due to a cause. This is like a simple equation. 1 + 1 = 2, 2 × 3 = 6, it is a theory of cause and effect. Every cause has a result, and some results are not in balance with the cause. The outcome simply depends on how quickly or slowly it occurs. Noble Awareness.Verse 243, Eat Vegetables and Do Not Kill Part 3. It is the same for someone who causes something, they will not see any result until death. This could be due to family circumstances. Some do good deeds to balance the sins they have committed, and the result will still come, but they must wait for the right time. The result of the cause might be experienced at death or in the next life. If we focus too much on things, we will not be able to see the results. So, what is there in us? The result is like a layer of paper in front of us, but we cannot see it because our knowledge and awareness do not reach that far. However, for those who have higher awareness, they understand both the things that have been born and those that have not yet manifested. Knowledge is limited to what a person knows because it has boundaries. We encourage those who study science and philosophy to continue and develop their knowledge, but not to use science to belittle the path of divinity. We know that science emphasizes experimentation and seeks proof, but what methods do they use in their research and experiments? Even though they use advanced tools, they cannot escape from using their eyes, ears, nose, mouth, and head. Can a face like this be used? For example, feces smells foul, yet dogs are able and willing to eat it. From this, we can understand that the tongue does not hold any status in terms of what is to be studied. A dog can smell things that humans cannot, while humans are the opposite. From this, we realize that scientific answers are based only on what is perceived through the face. If we acknowledge that scientific opinions are correct, we must also consider that, in the vastness of space, humans are so small that we might appear as nothing. Therefore, the answer is that humans have limitations. Only through high awareness can one directly perceive everything that is born in this world. This cannot be conveyed through knowledge alone, but some people believe in the cause and effect, yet still constantly demand proof. Without proof, we can only tell them that it cannot be seen with the eyes. The question is, why have these people, since ancient times, not studied or searched for this proof? For those who have the fortune of being on the path of divinity, do not wait for proof before practicing it. For those who want proof, they will never be satisfied. Whether one believes or not is up to the individual, but why is proof still awaited? The cycle of humanity is based on results, not on whether people believe or not. Even if they stop, it will still continue. Because of things in front of their eyes, people have accepted bad results behind them. Pity. Human.
What are the 5 types of vegetables that are equivalent to eating meat? All types of onions. Spring onions, seaweed jelly, mushrooms, mature beans. What are the 5 essential organs in the body? Liver, heart, lungs, spleen, kidneys. What are the 5 things that can harm health? 1. Onions damage the kidneys. 2. Spring onions damage the liver. 3. Seaweed jelly damages the heart. 4. Mushrooms damage the spleen. 5. Mature beans damage the lungs.